Now they're talking about white rural rage.
They're the most racist, xenophobic, anti-immigrant, anti-gay geodemographic group in the country. Second, they're the most conspiracist group. QAnon support and subscribers, election denialism, COVID denialism, and scientific skepticism, Obama birtherism.
So this is it. So I mean, I'm listening to him read off this list, and I'm thinking maybe I'm a white rural rage.
And I agree 100% with you that they are angry and they are upset, and they are not just white. Okay, we are angry and we are upset.
They're calling this white rural rage. A new book by Tom Schaller and Paul Waldman is getting a lot of press. The book's description on Amazon is as follows. White rural voters hold the greatest electoral sway of any demographic group in the United States. Their rage, stoked daily by Republican politicians and the conservative media, now poses an existential threat to the United States. So this is a book, again, by two UMBC professors, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Actually, one of them was my professor at UMBC. So they were on the show Morning Joe today, I believe, or it may have been yesterday. Take a look at what they're saying. This is crazy.
White rural rage, the threat to American democracy. And Tom, we'll start with you. Why are white rural voters a threat to democracy at this point? You would think, as we pointed out, looking at Joe Biden's background and Donald Trump's, that the opposite would be true.
I mean, we lay out the
fourfold
interconnected threat that white rural voters pose.
He's been there a long time.
And we show 30 polls and national studies to demonstrate this. So we provide the receipts in Chapter 6. They're the most racist, xenophobic, anti-immigrant, anti-gay geodemographic group in the country. Second, they're the most conspiracist group. QAnon support and subscribers, election denialism, COVID denialism, and scientific skepticism, Obama birtherism. Third, anti-democratic sentiments. They don't believe in an independent press, free speech. They're most likely to say the president should be able to act unilaterally in Congress or the courts or the bureaucracy. They're also the most strongly white nationalist and white Christian nationalists. And fourth, they are most likely to excuse or justify violence as an acceptable alternative to.
Oh my God!
You mentioned a lot of negative factors about this.
All right.
Oh, Mika. Oh, she is just a disaster.
So this is it. So I mean, I'm listening to him read off this list, and I'm thinking maybe I'm a white rural rage.
I got white rural rage.
He said COVID denial. He said election denial. He said Christian.
We hit all the boxes.
I am too.
I want to go to you on this first, Tyrone, because you live in rural America. Do you agree with this? Is this what you're going through? You look like a black man to me. How are you getting along?
Tyrone, if you ain't white, you black.
Right. And look, I don't see this. Okay. I find that going back to the left trying very hard to establish communism, if you look back at Stalin's regime, for example, you had a group called the kulaks in the Soviet Union. They were a group of, they were like farmers. They owned large tracts of land. They lived in the rural parts of the region. And Stalin thought that these people are antithetical to the establishment of communism as he saw it. He put all types of curbs on them and eventually exiled a lot of them, destroyed others. We saw the same thing with Mao Zedong's Great Leap Forward, where he tried to urbanize the the farming communities and that demographic. That didn't work out. 45 million people eventually died. So we see this hatred that the left, the world over, has for what in this country is referred to as flyover country. Okay? Right. A place where you still maintain a lot of traditional American values. All right. A place where the nuclear family is not only cherished, but relied upon.
Yes.
Okay, for day-to-day existence. Okay. And you see this genuflection toward urbanism and wanting to push everything into this urban environment that is more easily controlled. You're not growing your own food in a high-rise apartment.
Wow.
Okay.
No.
You're
cheese.
You're right. You're getting water from the state, okay, infrastructure. So it's an attack on independence.
Exactly.
It's also an attempt to demonize any and everybody that is not with the establishment of this system they want to build. And briefly, Shelley, you're right. There is a class within the left that is extremely intelligent and extremely they're hell-bent on engineering a new system. But then you have the useful idiots like Jamal Bowman, AOC, okay, even what's her name, Cheney's daughter. Okay? Pawns out there that are willing to be pawns just so that they can literally appear on a Sunday morning program, okay, get to go to certain cocktail parties, and get certain contracts. To
not be called a Trump supporter, not be called a racist.
Right.
Exactly. Look, Tyrone, you were right. You were talking about communism and Stalin and Mao, saying everywhere communism has been tried, they typically will start with removing the rights from the people, and they go after the farms, and millions of people starve to death, literally, which is why communism is typically called bloody. It's bloody because everywhere you go, there's death and destruction, right? That's number one. But guess what? I am kind of glad that they came out with this book. You know why? Because those rural people are going to come down with their guns and their voting ballots and cast their vote for Trump. Remember, Hillary told us it was a vast right-wing conspiracy, right? She told us that. Then she called us deplorable. Right? Then she said we were xenophobic and homophobic. You know, you name it. So guess what? When those rural voters go to their ballots on their vast farms and in their communities and towns, they're checking the box for Trump because they want to keep maintaining their independence and their American values. They don't want to rely on you all. So this was probably the best little trope that these authors come out with to help boost this election.
And I agree 100% with you that they are angry and they are upset and they are not just white. Okay. We are angry and we are upset because you keep saying a threat to a democracy. You're right. We are a threat to a democracy. I think it was somebody that said democracy is two wolves and a sheep trying to figure out what to have for lunch.
That's
right. We are not a democracy, and our founding fathers foresaw what was going on. People, you do not understand. You do not want a democracy. That means that you might as well get rid of our elections, and New York and California will pick our president, our Congress every single time. Like, you don't understand what is going on. And so stop allowing these people to manipulate you and just repeat stupid stuff all the time. Right. Yes, we are a threat to democracy because we are a constitutional republic.
Right. Exactly. Right. And what's going on here right now, where you have, and I know that the Pop and Politics program has other people on throughout the month, but you've got 4 Black people, young Black people, who are just not with the programming that the media would have you believe. Okay. And that narrative is wearing very thin because now the Black Chicago residents see that their taxpayer dollars, okay, they have been asking for that one community center to be renovated for years, never got it. And instantly, when the immigrants came over, Brandon Johnson just gave it to him. No problem. Adams up in New York. I am surprised that Eric Adams has enough brain power to inflate his lungs.
I know.
This idiot is out there trying to make the case that, we're giving away this $10,000 to the immigrants, but we're actually saving money. that's tantamount to me not needing a new wardrobe and seeing a sale and going buying a whole new wardrobe and saying, hey, I saved money.
Yeah.
10% off sale. I saved 10%.
Yeah.
Okay, this is his mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
do
know how
have
to
to
sell-
acknowledge before you say something, Shelly. I
Okay.
have to acknowledge Thunderball McGo.
Oh, another one. Thank you.
Again.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Thunderball.
Where he says rural people or country folks are the kindest. Love y'all. As a white man, through your professing. Yeah, I know. It's true. I know.
Right. But Tyrone, what I was gonna say, you know how the sale circulars or the sale ads, they'll say the more you spend, the more you save.
Right.
Well, the same thing, right? You gotta spend double and triple, and all you want to save is of course you're gonna save more because you're spending more, but it's not gonna balance out.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's like spending your like it's like your kids don't have anything to eat. So the kids in the house don't have anything to eat. But like you said, you see a sale and you're like, oh, well, I saved money, but we're starving. And that's the thing. We're not taking care of the citizens of New York or Chicago. And now they're getting upset and they're getting mad. And you guys, upset and mad is great and everything, but you got to get educated. You have got to understand like what is going on and how you've been used and how to fix it. Like if it's even fixed, I don't even know if it's salvageable at this point.
Absolutely. And not only that, we have to get past this racism, this not even racism, the race, the idea of race.
No, KJ.
AJ,
it's an election year.
Right?
We'll get past it in December, but it has worked every single time. It's on cue. I see people now talking about racism and oh my God.
It's an obsession to this point. I mean, we're in the 21st century and the obsession with race and in this type of racial bias is just out of control.
It is.
Out of control.
It is. And it's of course used as a tactic to divide because we all come into contact with members of different ethnicities, on a regular basis. And if you let the news media tell it, okay, we're at each other's throats. There's a race war going on every minute of every day. But that's not true. Okay.
Right.
We as American citizens work together. We live together, we recreate together just fine. But this is why I encourage people, and you guys know that I have not watched network, local, or cable news in 13 years. And I stay informed by reading, about the subjects that I care about. Because that's the other thing that's valuable about this platform. You got people interacting with you real time, all right? MSNBC, Joy Reid and her golden wig.
Yeah,
she's talking at you. She's not talking with you.
No,
she's talking at you. And that is what the power structure is losing, is that ability to just dictate to you how you should think. Okay, you got plenty of people real time sending in their chats right now, having their say. This is what we need to get back to, and we need to just totally reject all of this racist garbage that they are preaching to us, because it's not what we're living in real America.
Not unless we want to, not unless we're looking for it. Like I'm starting to, sports and all that. And I'm like looking at people like making stuff like about race now again. I'm hearing conversations, well, they don't listen to me because I'm black, or they don't like me because I'm like, really? Are we doing that? Maybe they don't like you. Like I can think of a million reasons that people don't like me, you guys. I'm loud, I'm obnoxious, I can be a little bossy, I can be a little annoying and passionate. Race is probably the last thing.
If at all.